Hello and welcome back to my channel. Yeah, you already can read the names. Today we're going to do Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. And yeah, before we dive in, I would like to remind you that I am available for personal coaching and I am available for your own analysis of your own birth charts and your chart with you and your person. Could be a divine counterpart, could be a romantic interest, family member, your bestie. It does not matter, but you would get exactly what you see here. And yeah, you are very welcome to contact me. Also, I noticed that my astrology videos, it's a very new channel, they get views. Thank you so much. But please also check out my coaching videos. We're talking about not just twin flames and divine counterpart. We talk about manifestation. It's important for me to show a different angle of manifestation. We're talking about the quantum physics, you could say, about the multiverse, and check it out, please. Also, please don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the bell icon, share my videos with your friends if they're also into astrology. That would help me greatly. But again, let's talk about Meghan and Harry. I have to admit, I never clicked on those videos, but I saw several videos on YouTube by people who were analyzing their relationship. And also I saw many videos or like thumbnails. I didn't click on the videos, but I saw that they existed, about Meghan Markle being a narcissist. To be honest, I am not a psychiatrist. It is not on me to label anyone a narcissist. Okay, I leave that to the experts. I have no idea if that is true. I believe many of the people who did the analysis are experts. They are psychiatrists or they are into psychology and actually studied that. But again, I did not watch those. However, even if that is the case, we always have to remember it takes two people. Okay? There is one person who attracted the other person and vice versa. So even if she would be that, a narcissist, Prince Harry, he attracted her. He chose her. Okay, and it doesn't matter how toxic a relationship is, it is always on us. We attract, and we always attract something that is giving us something. You know, it could be a mirroring, a triggering that gives us the ability to evolve and to grow. It doesn't really matter, okay? It's not that one person is always the victim and the other person is a perpetrator. It is two people. Even if one person is clearly the victim, even if there were violence, if it were toxic, still it takes one to attract the other person. And by that, I of course don't mean it takes one violent person to attract the other violent person. It is usually that one person who is still in some kind of victim mentality because they have unhealed issues, they would attract somebody to victimize them. As long as we are in victim mentality, we can only manifest situations that prove us right. That is why it's always on us to evolve and get out of these situations and to do the healing and not to stand there blaming the other person. Okay, that is, since I am a coach, it is very important for me to tell you about that as well. So again, I do not know whether or not she is a narcissist, but I did this video because I was very interested in seeing if I would find traces of who may be the more controlling person. And yeah, that's why we did. Again, if you're talking about archetypes, and I'm not trying to trash any sign, but you know, people who want the attention and want to be adored, that would be typical Leo energy. But that does not mean that every Leo is a narcissist. No, she is a Leo sun. You do find a lot of Leo people in the industry, in the entertainment industry, so that's not a big surprise. But again, I wanted to see maybe who is the controlling one or who is in charge. I analyzed it, and I'm going to tell you the conclusion I got based on astrology. I don't know these people. I haven't watched many interviews about them. I don't read the royal gossip stuff, so again, this is based on astrology and not so much on celebrity gossip. In this video, we're going to do what we usually do. We are first going to analyze their energies individually, and as usually, oops, sorry, that is the wrong one. Nope, here, that's the right one. And as usually, I took all of the information from their personal, their birth charts, the individual charts, and then we're going to compare their energies, because we know already high level soulmates, or not soulmates as much, but high level divine counterparts. Soulmates can be divine counterparts, and that's what I always said. You cannot necessarily, if they're divine counterparts or not, based on astrology, or on this part, at least on this part, because your divine counterpart could be a soulmate. A soulmate can have a completely different energy than you do. What we're doing here is to find out if there might be a specific kind of soul connection. Might they be twin flames? It's a clear no. Or could they be soul twins? Again, we do have a clear no. And soul mirror souls, like we had with Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, again another clear no. But I want to tell you, I did record for each signs. I recorded what would be divine counterpart energy, for Aries, for Taurus. I did all the signs, so that is coming up. I haven't published it yet. If you're interested in that, don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to publish those videos soon. For each sign, what would be my divine counterpart energy, like my divine counterpart, what kind of signs, or at least what would be a good match for my sign. And I did that with all of these signs, so a little advertisement for that. But finally, let's go get to those two, and you can already see there is not a lot of matching energy. By matching, I don't mean are they a good match, but do they share similar energies? Because again, it is so obvious that if twin flames are the same soul, that must show in astrology, right? I mean, the same energy must of course show in astrology as well. We don't have that here. We do have, however, that they do have the opposite rising sign. She is a Cancer rising and he's a Capricorn, and those are of course polar opposites. You can't see that in any chart. We do have Cancer here, and Capricorn would be right on the other side. And that is something we do find sometimes in soulmates, that they do have oppositions. However, to determine if it's like a high soul connection, usually you have some sameness energy. And then we also see that he has the moon in the 4th house. It's in Taurus, but it is in the Cancer house, and we do have her as a Cancer. And actually there is another thing, no, I'm going to talk about that later, I hope I don't forget. But we do have that energy, okay, the Cancer energy. Then they don't have anything else going on with their personal planets. And let's jump back to that. Something you very often find in soulmates, and pretty much every couple I did so far had that. They don't, but usually one person's sun, moon, rising sign would be the other person. Well, they do have it the opposite here, but usually one person's sun, moon, rising sign could be found as the other person's sun, moon, rising sign, and that is kind of like a jackpot. Not the big win, but at least it is a good thing. You don't hear this. Then here we're talking about the generational planets. Those are not as important. They do have opposing houses when it comes to their Saturn. Again, it's not very important with those. Everything past Mars, again, not as important when we compare energies, because those are generational planets. They don't tell us too much. Neptune in the same sign, again, not important. They got Psyche. Psyche is important when it comes to soul connections. Usually we would love to see one person's Eros and the other person's Psyche in the same sign, or at least forming like a trine. And we do have then opposing signs. That is not the best thing, but again, it's not a very bad thing either. But in a high level soul connection, that is something that we would see that there would be a match. Let's check this part. Oh, let's go over there. Here we were checking, do they share the same elements? One more thing I wanted to say, I especially wrote it here, we do have Leo 1 degree. That was important for me to write Leo 1 degree because you see, wait, Leo, no, it's 11 degree. Oh my god, it's the first house. I made a mistake there. I take it back. Sorry, it is not Leo 1 degree. If it were Leo 1 degree, then it would be a strong Cancer energy attached to it yet, because Cancer and Leo are close together, and then it would have been even more showing us that there would be a connection because of the opposite sign being Cancer. He's got the moon in the house of Cancer, so he has somewhat Cancer energy, but never mind, I kind of like didn't see that right. So let's go here. What we're doing here is with match, we were looking at the elements, and I wanted to see if we do have trining elements, and we don't have any trine. A trine would be if it's the other sign of the same element. For example, for Leo it would be Sagittarius or Aries. We don't have that here. I wrote the okay here because they got Neptune in the same sign, so it's cannot form a trine, but at least it is both loaded with fire energy. But then Neptune is not as important when we are checking at the energy. It's more important to have the same personal energies. Then the opposites, we were already talking about it. The rising sign is opposing Cancer, is the opposite of Capricorn. They have that. And then with Psyche, we were mentioning it again. Leo, of course, is the opposite of Aquarius. And yin-yang energy, that is something that is very important. They do have yin-yang when it comes to their moon. And the moon is, you always hear me say it, the most important aspect in our charts. Why is it yin-yang? Because they are both the Venus signs. Libra is the masculine, the yang aspect of Venus, and Taurus is the feminine aspect of Venus. And that is why twin flame, like not the split twin flames, they would have a lot of opposites and sameness, but monadic twin flames. And again, if you're wondering what is monadic twin flames, I did a video about different kind of divine counterpart connections. You do see it in my other videos and also in my playlist of astrology videos where we do talk about different kind of soul connections, and there I go in depth what is the difference between split twin flames and monadic twin flames. Monadic twin flames have a lot of yin-yang energy, meaning here we do see the moon is ruled by the same or is in signs that is ruled by the same ruler. That was great English. And in that case, it being Venus, they're both Venus signs. So this is yin-yang energy. Again, it's both ruled by Venus, but one masculine, one feminine, so yin-yang, yes. And that actually creates a very good match, to be honest, because naturally they both have strong Venus when it comes to their moon sign. They share the same energy. However, it is complementary because it is Libra and Taurus, so yin-yang. That is a very good thing, and actually that might be one of the reasons why they are together, because they have a lot of more difficult stuff. This, however, is a very amazing thing, and it's the most amazing aspect when it comes to the moon, because the moon is our emotional bodies, and this can indicate that doesn't matter what nasty stuff they got on their synastry, and they do have some of that, that this is still complementary and can even the nasty stuff out, okay, at least to a certain extent. Here we can almost skip that. Here we just wanted to check again what we did above. We do have a Leo, and I was checking where is his like house placement, and it would have been a match if he would have the sun in the 5th house, which would be the Leo house, or Libra if you would have the moon in the 7th house, then that could be a match. They don't really have that going on, just they share the same sign with Neptune. We already talked about that. So we do see that those two have completely different energies. Okay, and that is a very strong highlight. No twin flames, they're completely different. And to determine if you still can make it work or if you're soulmates, we do have to look at Synastry. And they're definitely soulmates because, again, everybody who plays an important part in your life, somebody you attracted who plays a very important part, is a soulmate by default. We have many soulmates. I mean, what's the definition of a soulmate? A mate is like a friend, you know, it's like your buddy, your soul buddy. So we do have multiple of those, okay, of course. And some might be very harmonious, others not so much. But we can determine is somebody a soulmate when we look at, it takes a while to load. You see it here. There is a lot of lines going on. There's a lot of contact between their planets. And this one may be a bit more easier. Usually I like this graphic better. However, all of the lines that kind of like overwhelmed me in the beginning, so I thought this might be a bit easier to read, because here we do have it bigger, but I usually prefer, this is no different, it's just the way it's displayed, you know, and I usually like it when the planets are closer to each other. If you hear my cat in the background, I'm sorry, he's kind of like being a little bit whiny. There is something, however, I wanted to talk about. Meghan. Yeah, okay. I wanted to talk for moments about, let's see if she's in here actually. If his mommy is in here. Yeah, she is. Okay, good. Let's look at that for a second. Because I remember that his mom is a Cancer sun and like me an Aqua moon, and that is why she was of course that much into like, how do you say it, humanity, that's the wrong word. Moon and Aquarius people, they have this strong aspect of wanting to help others and making a change and doing charity and that kind of stuff. And of course she was very famous for that. Okay, yeah, she is a Cancer sun and she has the moon in Aquarius, and I wanted to talk about that just for a second, basically because we all know that he lost his mom pretty soon, and I'm kind of like surprised maybe a little bit that he doesn't have Pluto in the 4th house because that could be an aspect of losing your mom very early on. However, he's got the moon in the 4th house, so he's craving for this motherly energy. That is something that's very important for him, to feel this motherly bond, and I think that is something he may kind of like get with Meghan. But we wanted to talk about her. She's so she is a Cancer sun, okay, and Meghan, she's got the Cancer rising. So at the first glance, Meghan seems to be like this kind energy. And I say seem because the rising sign is when you, for example, when you get a gift, it's the wrapping. It does not say nothing about what is inside of that box. It's just the wrapping. It is what we perceive. And so she seems to be, or portrays herself as somebody who has this really charitable aspect, who wants to help others. So I'm not surprised that he would be drawn to that, you know, that is something that he maybe wanted to attract. And then at the same time, our descendant is also showing us what do we like to attract. And so people with Cancer energy, and she has Cancer energy since it is her rising sign. Then he's got the moon in the house of Cancer. The moon is our emotional needs, and Cancer can be connected to mom. So we may have some mommy issues here. And I actually think that she's helping him heal that. I'm sorry, I don't know, my cats are a bit crazy today. They get their, how do you call them, runsies, when they're like freaking out and running around the apartment. So anyway, he is attracted to that kind of Cancer energy, especially with the moon in the 4th house. That's something he really needs. And when we talk about the Synastry, I believe that Meghan is kind of like helping him healing the loss of his mom, and I'm going to show you in a bit why. However, I want to talk for a moment about her, because one thing that really drew my attention, remember in the beginning I said that I wanted to do this video because I wanted to find out who may be the more controlling person. I don't know how to read narcissism in astrology, to be honest, and I don't honestly think it's something you should do, because we don't want to label those people, okay? We don't want to label anyone. Even if a person is a narcissist, then I mean that probably comes from some kind of childhood trauma. So I'm having a hard time judging people. I mean, I'm an aqua moon. We are not very judgmental in general, but I'm having a hard time just judging people because we don't know what they have been through. We're not walking in their shoes, and I'm not saying I'm never judgmental at all, but again, we don't know what happened to them. Just like I was saying about Leo energy, yes, she does like the attention, and especially the sun is in her first house. That means she is beautiful, yes, and we got the North Node in her first house, meaning the way she portrays herself is something that she likes to learn. And the South Node in the 7th house means that if you still want to hold on to the concept of past lives, that in a past life she was maybe giving too much, or in childhood maybe she gave too much or had to, and for her it is something her soul chose to learn to think more about herself. And you know, sometimes when we have to learn something because we were always confronted with the opposites, then sometimes you overcompensate. Okay, and I'm not saying this in order to protect her. I don't know that woman. Honestly, I don't get the vibes like, oh, she's the most warm person. I don't know. I don't get the vibes. But again, I'm just talking about astrology, you know, and about how we shouldn't be judging people, because this just tells us that it is part of her soul's mission to get recognized. Otherwise, she would not have chosen this placement to have the North Node in Leo. I mean, she's an actress, right? And that can be being creative and making money, being creative, but also it's the first house. It's being seen. It's not the 10th house, but still the first house is being seen for what we want to project to the world. And if her soul chose to do that, then it's perfect. It's perfect. We don't judge what other people chose because we are not walking in their shoes. You don't know what went wrong in her childhood to turn her into that person. Okay, but yes, this aspect could highlight somebody, maybe don't want to say narcissistic, who likes the attention, and but even more so, this is what caught my attention. Her moon is connected to Saturn, also to Jupiter, which means she has a very strong emotional need with Jupiter, again, to get some kind of attention or to be a big person, a grand person. Jupiter is the most fortunate energy, you know. It is somebody maybe who wants this kind of attention, but at the same time you do have it connected, and that's the one basically to Saturn. And the moon being connected to Saturn is a bit like, even though she is a moon in Libra, it gives you kind of like moon in Capricorn vibe. And I get this energy very much. I did a video talking about that. The last 3 guys I loved, so every man I loved since 2009 had their moon in Capricorn. And also I do have a moon Saturn connection, however a trine, which makes it a lot easier. But somebody with this connection, and look, I mean, the moon is at 4 degrees and Saturn at 5, so it's a very, very strong connection. Gives her, of course, controlling energy. But why? We need emotional stability. We need it. We crave it. We must have it with this connection, this conjunction, because again, the moon is connected to the mother also. I don't know if anything went wrong with her mother in childhood, but also Saturn could be the father, that something happened there between the parents. I think they did break up. I think she has a very difficult connection to her father. I don't know if that has always been like this, or maybe let's see. Maybe we do find something. Mother, childhood. But again, with this connection, we do have let's just see if we find something really, really quick. I don't spell it wrong. It just gives you like you need to have here. Was 2 years old. Lived with her mom. Okay, so she did live with her mom. But still, maybe because of the loss of the father, I don't know. Remember, our childhood is forming us, and we need our childhood is determining how we are going to grow up. Okay, what is going to happen. And also it is kind of like fated, because when we have a soul's mission, we choose our parents deliberately, and it's like a computer program. The program is installed in childhood, so it runs when we are adults. And something must have happened that gave her, in her personal life, the need to have control, to have stability. And usually we have the strong need if something happened that we felt a lack of that. And with her, it being a Libra, she always wants to balance things out, and maybe there was an imbalance going on in her childhood. And since it's in the third house, maybe it can be connected to siblings or something like that as well. So yes, she is portrayed as somebody who likes the attention, obviously, but also not portrayed, I mean in astrology, but also as somebody who likes to have control. It is a deep-rooted need, because the moon is our deep-rooted needs, something that is not very tangible, something that we having a hard time maybe to explain or to understand in ourselves. However, she needs to have control. She needs it. Otherwise, she's not feeling stable, and then that could go back. So yeah, if we're talking about who's wearing the pants, a German proverb, I think you say that in English as well, it probably would be her, because of her need to control things. This is like a little bit, like not just a little bit, this is control freak energy. Okay, but again, not judging. Her soul shows that there must have been something, and this is what I got from the very beginning. However, I wanted to double check, and we see as well to find out if you're Saturn. Any planet which is conjunct Saturn is starved. Okay, it's the moon, it's our emotions. It means she is not a very emotional person. And I was talking earlier about the moon in Capricorn, very similar energy. It does not mean that they're not emotional. Moon in Capricorn people can be very emotional. They just have difficulties accepting it sometimes and showing it to others. The moon is the emotional happiness and balance of the person. When Saturn starves it, then often such a person is emotionally starved. Okay? That we usually have difficulty showing their feelings and affections to others. They might even feel disconnected from what they feel, and this is often due to a childhood experience, yeah, of course, of less affection and attention and affection. I mean, I was just talking about that. Maybe they were one of many children who the mother or moon did not have much time to shower with love, or maybe the mother figure was harsher and more emotionally detached due to busy career or personal problems. Again, it's very similar to having the moon in Capricorn, and also a bit like moon in Aquarius as well, because Aquarius is Uranus but also Saturn. Okay, so it's very similar. However, the difference is moon in Capricorn people are often trying to fight for the affection, and the moon in Aquarius person would more be like attaching, saying like, okay, you don't like me the way that I am, then go F yourself. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're your mom, just F off, basically. Often the mother was more authoritative and less affectionate. In extreme cases, the relationship with the major nurturing figure was quite strained or downright hostile even. So yeah, it is somebody who's, you see here astrolada.com articles, you will find that entire thing. But it just shows us everything that I was talking about. So again, don't judge, because we don't know, maybe it's out there now, I just haven't read it. Something must have gone wrong in her childhood, okay? And we are all formed. Nobody is without flaws. Does that make her a bad person? Not by itself. It depends on how you act on it, right? Because even if you're troubled, you still have the ability to go seek help, to go seek counseling. If you don't, then that's on you, okay? But our programming, it's not on us, okay? We chose it before we came here, but if you don't try to work on it, then it is on you. So that was a lot of talking about them. But again, he's very earthy. Look at the sun in Virgo, the moon in Taurus, and the AC in Capricorn. Harry is a very earthy sign, so he needs emotional stability. He's got the moon in Taurus. Taurus is connected to Venus. We were talking about this. So he needs somebody who is giving him some kind of affection, okay? It's not her strongest suit, maybe, at least not on the outside. But everything we were talking about, the moon and Saturn, one thing is important as well. Saturn connections are tough, yes, but you have the ability to heal them, and usually the influence of Saturn on any connection would probably lessen once you reach the natal Saturn return. That's what I was talking about. When you're like between 30-35, and she's about 35, I believe. So that is something that should not be as strong anymore. But he needs somebody who gives him some kind of emotional stability, and that is what Saturn can do. Saturn may not be the most emotional placement, but it gives you stability, okay? And especially with the moon in the 4th house, maybe that is why he chose a woman who's a bit older, that he gets something out of this. Someone who has the Cancer energy, yes, but somebody who is a strong figure as well. And also we must not forget how he grew up. I mean, while he grew up, he got a lot of restriction. I mean, being a royal and everything. And so I'm not surprised he has the Capricorn energy, because that to me is kind of like kingly energy, you could say. It's connected to that kind of control. And the Capricorn in Taurus connected to the devil, and devil is like the ruler, the emperor as well, but the devil more likely in having restrictions and all of that. So the way he grew up, very earthy, of course. We attract what we know, and that is something that's very important as well. We attract what we know, and I assume growing up in the public eye, since you were born, always being in the spotlight, and then being a royal, there were probably a lot of restrictions that he faced, I assume. I don't know, again, I don't really know a lot about royal gossip, but that's just what I assume. So I'm not very surprised that he would attract somebody with this combination who has like this stern energy, and this is like authority, this kind of authoritative energy, because that is how he grew up. And again, we always attract. It's us. So again, it's a reason why he attracted her, why he chose her. Oh wow, I just saw this. This is interesting. Look at that. He's got the south nodes in the 10th house going to the 4th. It's kind of like his life mission to step out of the public eye. Or the 10th house, again, it's like how we are perceived. It's being a public person with this south node there to getting more into a private. The fourth house is also connected to the moon, the subconscious, the home life. So this looks like it was always meant for him to step out of that. So if he's doing that now, then good job. Then it's not all on her. It's like many people say he did it because of her, but it seems like this was fated for him. So I just noticed that. The south node is where we are born, public, very public, or restrictive. Again, and not for everybody. With this south node in his 10th house, of course, is like a child celebrity. But it could be like a very restrictive home, and it's going into the more nurturing energy. Oh, that is interesting. That's like a game changer, right? Because like the whole world was pointing the finger on Meghan, oh, she is doing that. It was always his fate, and if it were not her, then probably something else would have happened to get. Oh, I would like to know, when did they do that? How old was he? Was it like was it like 38? How old is he? How old is he? When was he born? Sorry, I'm a bit of a nerd right now. He was... Oh no, that's Princess Diana. Oh, I closed him. Shoot. Accidentally clicked it off. But we should see it here as well. He was born, he's, I think, 84. 84. Okay, what if we put 84 plus 1984 plus 37? That's when we have the 2021. When did he leave the royal house? Oh, I just put it here. When was the is it called Maxit? Maxit? When? That is so interesting. I'm sorry. Like, when did that happen? 2020. Oh, okay. It would have been so cool now if it would have been 2021. Why? Because when we are about... No, wait, we're 19 and a half. But we are like 19. When is the... I think is it 37 or 38? Because that can be like when destiny gets activated. I know I will go way off topic right now, but I think the first time is when you're 19 or 19 and a half or 18 and a half. Yeah, 18 and a half. So 18 and a half plus 18 and a half would be 36, 37. Yes, I got it right. It would be interesting to see when his north nodes actually met. But no, we're not doing that here. If you want me to check that in another video, leave a comment. But usually what happens is when our north node and the transit north node meet, which is again the first time when we are 19, about 19, it happens approximately every 18 and a half years. And then there is it happens when we're 37 around. And when that happens, it's kind of like we fulfill some kind of a destiny. For example, I had a friend, and when her north nodes met when she was 37, she started a completely new career, because that was fated, absolutely fated. For me, the north and the south node meeting were always very important when it came to my ascension journey. Like the first time they met, pretty much like exactly on that time, I met my first catalyst soulmate. Then 9 years later, when the south and north nodes met, I met the catalyst twin. And it was like the year before my North Nodes met again. I met my twin flame and started this journey. The second time we met actually was when his North Nodes were conjunct. So that is very interesting. Sorry, we just got there. I know this is like way off. I'm so sorry. But that just completely fascinated me because, again, just seeing that tells me that it has always been fated for him to step into a more private life. I mean, he is still out there, yeah, but now he's choosing. He's doing it with his wife, you know. The moon for an adult man can also symbolize the wife when he gets older. So this is so interesting. I don't know when exactly. I mean, we just saw the date, January. When did they actually do it? You know, that could be when he had the North Nodes return conjunctions. But that is, oh my god, we just discovered something. And you were there live. But okay, let's step to the Synastry. Remember when I said, when I was talking about his mother issues, that she might be healing his mother issues? And why did I say that? Because of this aspect here. We got Chiron, the wounded healer, right attached to his moon. And let's check it. We got the moon at 21 degree and her Chiron again 22 degree. That's spot on. And when we're talking about asteroids, we don't want an orb that is bigger than 2 degree. So this is the healer, and it's his moon. It's emotional. No, it's 21. Sorry, it's 21 degree and 22 degrees still. That's a conjunction, and this tells us that she is healing his emotional wound, and it could be the loss of the mother, because again, it symbolizes the mother. So this is something that tells us that she can be very healing for him, and this would also indicate something fated. However, you see there is a lot going on, and I don't know which graphic is better. This one is prettier. Let's go to this one. I did take some notes because all of this density was like overwhelming at the first sight. It was like, whoa, I have to take some notes. Let's talk about the moon. We do see that his moon is connected to Chiron. Amazing thing for him. This can bring him great healing. However, we don't see any other emotional contact going, contact to his personal planets. We do have Uranus down here, and that can be a bit harsh. That could mean sudden changes, and I mean, she did bring a sudden change in his life, right? Uranus is the epiphany. It reminds me very much of the Tower card in Tarot. It's something is breaking, and now we're starting a completely new life. However, it's also connected to Aquarius energy, and Aquarius is one of the most spiritual signs. It's connected to the crown chakra and listening to the higher self. So she triggered something in him, maybe to listen to the higher self. However, since the opposition, of course, it was not easy for him, and it could have been a bit overwhelming. And maybe he perceives her as somebody who is a bit not destructive. Yeah, it could be destructive, but like sudden shifts and changes. And that could be something that is a bit harsh for him. And then again, his moon doesn't have any contact to personal planets, and I told you they do have some not so good stuff going on. However, please keep in mind, what I do like is his moon in one of the Venus signs and hers in the others Venus sign. She doesn't have too many positive placements to his as well. We do have a very weak connection to his Venus. Where is it? Wait, where are we talking? Where's your moon? Where's his Venus? I wrote down Venus. Oh yeah, it's a weak conjunction because it's 9 degrees apart. So it's not like a strong connection between their moon and Venus. However, it is there. This can tell us that there is some compatibility, especially we do have the moon and her moon and his Venus in the same sign. That shows some emotional compatibility. However, her moon is not very much connected. We do have it to Jupiter and Neptune, and that can of course also indicate there is the ability to grow. When Jupiter is involved, even if it's a square, it always gives you the ability to grow, to expand. However, it might be a bit more difficult when it's a square. But more concerning would be the connection to Neptune, since Neptune can be the illusional planet, and that can be that they don't really perceive each other as they really are. The rose-colored glasses come back in this reading as well. And then we do have her moon trining. No, that's the sun, sorry. We do have a sextile to Mars. Yes. And is it Mars? Her moon sextile to... No, it must be Mars. And that also means that there is some kind of sexual attraction going on between those two. Okay, let's talk about the sun. We do have his sun here. And his sun is forming a sextile to her Uranus. That again, we do have the square, or not the opposition. But it's good that we do have the sun connected with the same... No, wait, it's not the sun. No, it is. Okay, wait. That's why the big one is better here. Where is his... Here's his sun, yes. It's the sun going to her Uranus, yes. Okay, sorry. That means even though they do have the opposition, the sudden changes, it is something that he wants to go with her, or he is at least appearing. He is, it might be for him emotionally a bit hard, but he is still putting the energy in this change as well. He's going along. I mean, he did after all. Then we do have... Sorry, my notes are a bit off. I mean, this is like, you see, there's a lot going on here. We were talking about the weak connection between the moon and, I think it's actually the sun to Venus. That is forming a, oh yeah, okay. There we do have another beautiful conjunction. We do have one here, and we do have one here. Here I wrote it's I think this is more than 9 degrees. I think I was wrong when I was talking about the moon. The moon is 4 degrees, Venus is 17. Nope, that is not a conjunction, but at least they do share the same sign. That is something that is beautiful for them, and it shows us that there is emotion. And then we do have a weak conjunction here, 9 degrees apart. However, the Venus and the Sun in the same sign, it's not, so they have one moon and one Venus in the same sign, and one Sun and the Venus in the same sign, which tells us that they probably have very similar love languages. So that is something that is working for them, even though they have a little bit more difficult stuff. But again, they do have some more beautiful stuff going on as well, and that would be some of the more great stuff going on. And then we do have her Sun, which is there, trining his Mars. Again, that is talking about sexual attraction. However, it is also squaring his Saturn. Oh, do I have to sneeze or not? Sorry. Where's his Saturn? Her Sun and his Saturn. Yeah. And that can be another indication of a couple that either it doesn't really get off the ground. I mean, they got off the ground, they're married, they have children. Or something that can be like you stick together even if you're not happy anymore. But any connection between one person's Saturn, the other person's Sun, Moon or Venus shows us that they do have a connection. They can make it last. However, there are some difficulties that need to be overcome, or it would not last. It's like this either or. It's usually very difficult to get it started. with the square to overcome the square, or you overcame the square and then there's some difficulties. But again, on the downside, couples with these could stay together even though they're not happy anymore. And then let's talk about Venus. His Venus is, I should have written down the signs as well. Now I'm looking every time. Where is his Venus? He's orange down here. Is conjuncting her Pluto. Okay, so this is a very transformative love. However, there is some shadow work that needs to be done. Pluto is the light and the dark. However, this can be like a love at first sight connection, and also it could tell us about a very, very deep love. You know, it would be similar to having one person's moon or Venus in the other person's 8th house. And that is something that would be very... Oh, look, they got... she's got the Venus in his 8th house. Okay, this can talk about fate again. So we do have something that is talking about... At least it feels fate. It doesn't have to be fated. They don't really have the vertex stuff going on. But at least it feels very much fated. Pluto can talk about our past lives or early childhood. Of course, it's connected to the 8th house. And when we have somebody's Venus connected to the other person's Pluto or 8th house stuff, there is this intense sexual attraction. It is very transformative. Pluto or the 8th house is connected to death and sorrow. It's the healing. It can either burn you. It's either black or white. This could be something that's very toxic, to be honest. It's either very toxic or you overcome your shadows, and then it can be a very beautiful thing. Because the 8th house is talking about the deepest kind of emotions. And the deepest kind of emotions can be pure hatreds or pure love. Okay, it's like black and white. There's not a lot in between. But those aspects, they basically have it twice with Pluto and with the 8th house. And also the sun, no, that's not, it's her sun in the 8th house. So she's got the scorpionic, no, it's his sun in the 8th house. So he's got the scorpionic energy, kind of like. But this can talk about true love. Not always easy. You have to do the shadow work. Again, Pluto is transformation. It is connected to healing. Not an easy placement. However, it is a placement that can talk about very, very deep emotions. Very strong emotions. Like, it can make you feel like this is the love of a lifetime, the romance of a lifetime, if you put in the work. So again, even though they have some more difficult stuff, when we look a little bit deeper, we do have deep emotions with their Venus signs. We do have the moon and Venus in the same house. We do have the sun and the other Venus in the same house and sign, of course, house and sign. So that is something that can talk about compatibility. So it's not a surprise that they are together. And the more I read into this, the more I see, yeah, this may have been kind of like fated. He attracted her for a reason. She is helping him to, and probably vice versa as well. I mean, she likes to get the attention with all that stuff in the first house, and she gets it. They both get something out of it. Is that a toxic thing? No. Not that by itself. I mean, I'm not sitting at their dinner table. I don't know how they act towards each other, but you know, I think I saw one of those videos talking about when the Oprah interview came out. I think I saw one of those videos, like, she is the bit more controlling type, but yes, again, she is. With this connection, she has her reasons to be like this. Just because she's wearing the pants in this connection does not mean that it's toxic per se, because maybe he likes that. Maybe it's what he likes. It would be toxic if it would be without consent. If he wouldn't like it, you know, then it would be toxic. But as long as they're not fighting, she's not abusive verbally, physically, emotionally, then it could be just preference, and who are we to judge them? Okay, but again, I don't know what's going on between closed doors. Maybe it is toxic, but when I look at that, yeah, they do have difficulties. Obviously, it's evident. But I think they do have aspects that show that they are good for each other. Especially this one, she can heal his mommy issues. This is a beautiful thing. It's the 8th house stuff. I'm a fan of the 8th house stuff. Again, black and white could be the worst thing ever or the best thing ever. We have to put in the work. But this can give you the sense of being like being in a fated relationship. And it's also talking about strong attraction. Pluto can give you the love at first sight, like bang, it's there. It's the Saturn soul recognition. So even if they're not twin flames, the soul recognition aspect is nothing that is just for twin flames. For example, my best friend and I were soulmates, and we had the Saturn soul recognition as well. I saw her, and I'm not somebody who's very open to have new friendships all the time. I am reserved. But with her, I saw her, and then I want her to be my friend, day one, which is absolutely not typical for me. But why? Because there was a soul recognition. Our souls knew each other. I had the feeling like we know each other. There was instant trust, instant liking. And so this stuff can happen in romantic connections, yes, in friendships, yes, but also, for example, it could be in business, especially if it's like with a good business connection. Like second house could be good for business, the seventh house as well. And you could meet like a business partner and just know, yeah, you're the one, okay, when it comes to business. But again, this is something that is talking about this all of a sudden recognition of the other person. And Pluto, I'm a Mars in Scorpio, so naturally I do like Pluto energy. It can be toxic, but it can be highly transformative. It is connected to the eagle, but also to the phoenix energy, rising from the ashes, transforming, helping each other. So, okay, we got this. Then we got her Venus would be here. She's Venus, is trining Saturn, his Saturn, and that's an amazing thing as well, because not trining, it's sextiling. Yeah, it's sextiling, not trying, sorry. That's a beautiful thing, because that means that they want to make this last, and this is another indicator of making it last if they put in the work. I always have to repeat that. You have to put in the work. This is talking about long-lasting relationship, a serious relationship. They are married. They are in a serious relationship. That by itself does not determine you grow old together. You have to, of course, be kind to one another to really make it work. Then we do have a Venus, her Venus squaring his Mars. That is something that can talk about good sex, to be honest. It's like a double-edged sword, either very good. It's talking about sexual friction. So this would be a couple where sex is not getting boring because they have the same routine. It brings some spice in. However, it also can indicate that there could be some kind of jealousy and possessiveness going on, and some back and forth. And always say we would have to check it. Is it a healthy Mars? Her Mars is not too healthy. Maybe she has overcome it. However, this could talk. You see, her Mars is it's a sextile to Venus, so that's a good thing. But maybe she had the feeling she had to fight for attention, or she had to fight for being emotionally stable or getting the stability she needs. That could have been an issue. However, since it is Cancer and Libra, they're not very aggressive signs, even though we do have the square here. I would say that if she's aggressive, would be more like a passive aggressive way, and not really like a physical aggressive way. However, with the square here, it tells us, yeah, then wait, are we talking about whose Mars is it? Oh, it's his Mars, I believe. Wait, we have to go back. Maybe I made a mistake. We would have to check her Venus then, but whose Mars is it? It's her Venus, yes. So for her, we have to check Venus. No, her Venus is healthy. She's got a good Venus. No, sorry, here's her Venus. Yeah, she only has one aspect to Mars. It's a healthy Venus. We have to check him. We can close this. His Mars. Oh yeah, you see only blue lines. So that's a healthy Mars. There is nothing too toxic going on. So even though this square could talk about friction, this friction would probably be playing out more in the bedroom, or that there's sometimes timing could be a little bit off. that, for example, one person wants to have sex and the other is more in a romantic mood or doesn't want to have sex in that moment. That could be like a thing. But I don't think that is always a thing, because we do have intense sexual attraction with the Venus-Pluto stuff. So I don't see this as a bad thing, because again, both of them, they do have, she's got a healthy Venus, he's got a healthy Mars. So this doesn't look like there is a lot of tension, like fighting or volatility going on. So again, when you see something like this, you always have to check the planets in the personal chart to see how could this play out. Okay, very important. Then Saturn, we were already talking about his Saturn that is there, is sextiling her Venus. We already talked about this. He wants the stability. He has the intention to make this long lasting. And I did say something about the Sun. Okay, we have a square to the Sun. Again, a bit of a double-edged sword. It's like, yeah, I want this relationship, I want this to last, but we might be facing some difficulties. There might be something that's a bit off balance. However, they do have the ability to make it work. This could cause some kind of frustration, and it would not be a very good thing. However, since they also have the Venus connection, I don't see this as something that is very bad. Not with a positive. If they wouldn't have that, it would be a little bit different. But this could mean, it's very harmonious when it comes to their love life. But maybe he does not always agree with how she wants to represent herself, or something like that. That could be some kind of frustration going on between those two. And it could also be that maybe they're a bit critical about each other, or he's a bit critical about how she's portraying herself, but not so much with the Venus here. Also, this can indicate that he feels very responsible towards her. And again, he is the prince, or was the prince. I don't know if he still is. So that is a lot of responsibility, okay? And it can be that he felt this responsibility, and maybe he felt like, okay, I have to protect you or something like that. And yeah, that this sense of responsibility could be a bit of a burden. But honestly, in his position, I can imagine that this could be a burden with pretty much any girl he would date or marry, that he would want to protect her, because the royals are very, very well known. Something she likes, yes, but again, this could be the problem, that again, she likes the attention, and maybe that's something he does not like so much, since we were talking that he wants to have a little bit less of that. That could cause some problems, but I don't see it over the top, because they do have real emotions for each other. So I think that they would try to find compromise. That's my guess. But again, I'm just talking about astrology. I don't know these people. I don't know what's going on behind closed doors. It is just what I assume based on what this tells me. Okay. So then we got her Saturn. It's squaring his Jupiter, but again, no personal planets. So maybe she is also. There could also be some kind of restrictions going on there when it goes to like growth or the public image. That something has been going on there. But let's move on. This video is way longer than the others, and I want to wrap it up. We see the Nords have no contact to personal planets, neither his nor hers. Yes. Then we do see no vertex connections to personal planets. However, his vertex is falling into her second house. That's again a Venus house, which is kind of like it can give you the feeling of being loved. I was talking about Chiron Moon. We got that, and we were basically talking about Pluto as well. We got this beautiful Pluto thing going on here, and the other Pluto was, where's the other Pluto? Oh, here. Okay, but basically we were talking about this. His Pluto is forming a square to her Sun. Again, love at first sight. even though there are some difficulties going on, but any Sun Pluto connection is talking about sexual tension, sexual interest. However, again, it's transformative, and maybe, sometimes you don't like to transform right away. It can be something you try to fight, and then you go through this transformation anyway, right? So this could be an issue. But let's get to the next step. Let's talk about Synastry. Let's close this one. So not Synastry, the composite chart. I didn't take any notes on that. Look, the moon in Cancer again. It's like feeling nurtured. What is composite? Again, remember they had the moon, for example, in Taurus and Libra, and the middle of that, if they would meet in the middle, that would be here. The moon in Cancer can talk, or any sign like the moon, the rising sign, or the sun in Cancer can talk about a soulmate connection. In the composite, the Cancer energy, it looks like a bit like the yin-yang symbol. So that is something that is highlighted again here. It is a soulmate connection. There is a soul connection there. We do have the North Node going to Cancer. So, they are parents. This can talk about having children together, of course. But also, Cancer is connected to the first house. It can be like getting more into a private life later on. But still, it's going more into this nurturing energy, healing emotions, you could say. The Saturn in the 7th house is a beautiful thing that is also talking about commitment. The 7th house is the house of relationships, and with Pluto, it's like an always transforming relationship. Pluto, again, is not always very easy, but it gives us the ability to constantly grow and evolve. So both of them will always grow in this connection. Then the Sun and Jupiter, there may be some issues again when it comes to, sometimes it might not feel like they're always happy and lucky, because there are difficulties, but there is love. We already saw that. Where is Venus? Venus important. Oh look, we got Venus and Mars conjunct here. So that just proves again what I said earlier in the Synastry, that the Venus-Mars square, I didn't see that as a big problem, to be honest. And here they are peacefully united in Virgo. Virgo is beautiful energy in the 6th house even, which means that they try to, Virgo is the house of healing as well, putting the effort to have some kind of a healthy lifestyle. It is loving each other, trying to have each other being happy and healthy, trying to build your home life as well. Then the moon is, oh look, the moon is sextiling Venus again. It is love. We do have a square to this year again to Pluto and Saturn in the 7th house. Again, there might be some difficulties when it comes to their emotions, but they're not facing with easy stuff, let's be honest. But not faced with easy stuff. It's being that public. So there is again some problems. They are forced to transform. Maybe they don't always want to transform. Who does? People are naturally scared of changing. That could cause some difficulties. To be honest, this could highlight that maybe there will be a breakup. Doesn't have to be, but Pluto connection could also talk about like ending things eventually, but that doesn't have to be. Look, the South Node, it shows like kind of like past life stuff going on here. Is there anything else that really catches my eye? Mercury, the way of thinking. No, I think I want to leave it at that. I know usually I do compare the energies. Do I want to do that? If so, very, very fast. Okay, we got the Sun in Virgo 2 degree. Please remember that. The Sun in Virgo 2 degree would be here. Oh, we got her Venus at 13. Okay, that's not forming a conjunction, but the Sun would be here. It would form no opposition. It would form no trine and also no square here, no square here. Let's talk. So there is nothing big going on there. Let's talk about the moon. The moon is in Cancer, 28th degree over here. How does this relationship, what is the word, control her emotional life? It's close to the AC, so it's is transforming like her emotional need maybe to be public. It's showing her more, like maybe she's getting more emotional through this connection. That could be something it is she's stepping more into her Cancer energy. That is something that could happen, of course. It should also be conjuncting to her North Node, so this relationship is helping her evolve in her personal thing. It is forming a trine to her Uranus. Maybe she is getting less spontaneous, or that is getting more healthy. Doesn't do anything to, she doesn't have anything with Pisces. Then it's conjuncting to Pluto. It's forming a square to Pluto. Again, it's she's getting forced to transform, whether she likes it or not. She is forced to transform, and also it is influencing. It's close to the 28 degree would be here. No, it's not forming any square, but yeah, it's making her maybe more emotional, stepping more into her Cancer, like her nurturing energy. I mean, she did turn a mother, right? The moon is talking about the mother. She in this relationship, she became a mom. I mean, that's a major influence on somebody's life. Then Libra, Venus. Let's do Venus and Mars together, 29 degree and 0 degree. Mars and Venus in Libra. So look, it's very much connected to her moon. This just shows this conjunction between Mars and Venus and her moon and Saturn and Jupiter as well. She wants to grow in this connection. She wants to she's finding stability in this connection, and maybe that helps her to get a little bit out of having to control, because this connection is basically giving her what she needs emotionally. It is giving her the stability she needs. So that is something very, very beautiful. And also she is feeling sexually attractive and attracted in this connection. She is attracted to him. That's another amazing thing going on. We don't have any oppositions. Do we have... yeah, she's getting money through this connection as well. No, wait. Did I make a mistake? Sorry. It's in Libra. No, it's the beginning of Libra. Okay, so I was like, wait, is it the end or the beginning of Libra? It was, let me check again. 0 degree Libra. Okay. Sorry. It is... look, it is conjuncting her, trining, this connection, the relationship, the energy of the relationship is connected to her South Node energy, which again tells us past life stuff going on. She feels very much like she knows him. I had that feeling from the very beginning. And yeah, this is what I was talking about. This would be, where's her point of fortune? 1 degree. Okay, it's also trining her point of fortune, meaning she gets money out of this. Okay, this is something, this connection, of course, because it gives her public reputation. She can make money out of this connection. But don't see it as a bad thing, like she is using and abusing this connection. No, I think this is like a cherry on top, basically. Would it form any squares if it would be here? No, not really here. And not really, nope. Okay, let's talk about him. So it would be over here. It's not conjuncting anything of his. It's not really opposing. Well, we have Black Lilith here. We can discard that. It's not trining this. It's, oh, look, and the connection is trining his North Node, her South Node and his North Node, which again gives us some kind of destiny. This connection is helping him grow, helping him to become the person he wanted to be. Yeah, so it's not on her that this makes it stuff. Maybe she did kind of like start it, we don't know, but it was kind of like fated. So this is a beautiful thing for him, to be honest. Okay, so I don't think that he is the poor guy who needs to be saved by her, if we look at that. I mean, is there some stuff that's not easy? Yes, but controlling, yeah, that's her nature. That's how she is. But I think he might not need that, you know? We don't know. We can't look into his head. Is it squaring anything? Nope, not here. And wait, if it's here, it's forming a square to Jupiter. Again, the expansion, the growth could be something that is going on here, that is a bit limited. Or traveling. Oh, we forgot that aspect. Maybe he's traveling less with her. I don't know. I mean, as a prince, he probably had to travel for work a lot. Is he traveling more or less now? Well, if you have children, you probably travel less. Jupiter is also, of course, connected to traveling. So that could be something that's not happening as much anymore. So what else? We want to talk about Pluto. Pluto is the transformation. It's at 26 degree Libra over here. And 26 degree Libra over here. So yeah, it's transforming her. We have this Pluto-Pluto connection. No trine here. We don't have an opposition. No, that would be 26. It's not really doing anything here. Is it forming a square? Oh yeah, it could be forming a square to like her ascendant. Yeah, I mean, this transformed the way she was publicly portrayed, and with the square, not always just positive. I mean, she's kind of like portrayed as the evil person who is controlling, who is forcing him to do stuff. So this connection does kind of like influence her image in a not as good way. That is what's happened. So no, is this his or her? Yeah, her. Okay, so we got that. And 26 degree. Okay, her descendant. It's also like changing the way she is. Maybe he's a different person than she used to like to date. You know, that's like changing the way of like what she attracted. Then again, 26 degree Libra. Oh, it's connected. It's transforming his love, the way he loves, and also connected to his Pluto, the way he will transform. We don't have any opposition. We don't have anything going on here. We don't have anything going on here. It doesn't really form a square here. It does form a square. It doesn't form a square to his rising sign. That would be too far apart. So yeah, this is a transformative connection. Sorry that I rushed through this, but this video is I didn't expect it to be that long. But we can say it's a very transformative connection for both of them. When, according to astrology, it's not as toxic as people say it is. I think he attracted what he needed. I think he attracted what he liked and what he knew. He knew authority, probably. I assume, growing up as a royal, they don't have the same kind of freedom other children do. And also, wasn't he like in boarding school and in the military? Yeah, I mean, this guy, he knows authority. So he attracted a woman who has that energy. We attract what we vibrate. If that is something he's used to, of course he would attract that. That does not make her a mean person. I'm not saying she's an angel. I don't know her. Maybe she is not a narcissist. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know her personally, so I don't care. I would only care if I knew that person. Or if she would be a narcissist to somebody I like and love, then I would care. But I think he attracted, somebody who has the need for being a bit authoritative, because that is what he knows. That is what he grew up with. That is what he feels comfortable with. So it's just as much on him as it is on her, if you want to say it like this. But anyway, if you like this, please like, subscribe, share, hit the bell icon. You can book your own reading, your own analysis like this. Let me know what you think. I'm very interested to read your comments, what you think about their connection. Did it give you some new insight or not? Did you always think it was exactly what I was talking about? Just let me know, and if you learned something new, let me know as well. I love making these videos for you. And I wish you all the best. Okay, have a wonderful week, a wonderful day, and I see you in another video. Bye bye.